just talking.
Well, what's the date today?
21st. Today the 21st? 24th.
Of January 1998. Or 99. Sorry. Okay, we just wanted to find out a little bit of your history.
Well, when we were in Du Bois, my father worked on a cattle farm for Van Castles. And we lived in a house across the street from the Du Bois mansion. And when he left there, he went to the woods down at Emporium and worked for Mr. Du Bois in the woods down in, I was 2 years old when we moved down there to Hicks Run.
Oh, okay, down. The Hicks Run you're talking about is down where the Elkinat are now, down Benezet, Hicks Run.
He was there until the lumber was out. And he came back, he went to Latrobe and worked for a fellow by the name of Mackey in Latrobe. And, well, it was really Latrobe, it was up at Darlington between Ligonier.
Yeah, Darlington.
Yeah. And we were there, probably I was about 6 years old when we left there. And they closed that camp. And then we went up to Ligonier to my uncle's farm. To Annie and Fanny's and Uncle Albert Ambrose's farm.
Ambrose.
Mm-hmm. You remember Margaret?
Yeah.
She used to come
Margaret
down to your place.
and Margaret Spiker.
Yeah.
And what? Russell? Is that his name?
Her
Russell.
husband's name is Russell.
Right. And
And,
then what was the other guy's name? Armstrong?
Armstrong Showers. He's Aunt Annie's son.
Okay, I remember them.
And we stayed there till I was about, he worked for Uncle Albert till I was about 8 years old or 9. And then we moved over to Sebula up in Hickory there and took over Uncle Sal's Keller's farm.
Above Du Bois.
Aunt Lizzie Keller had died, that was my dad's sister. And Uncle Silas wanted to go back to he wanted to go to Latrobe. Why, I don't know.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that. So we stayed there until I was 15 years old. And then Dad got a job in Ridgeway, working for Hyde Murphy Company in a planing mill.
Right, that was the old furniture mill.
We moved there in June, and I was 16 in September. And I lived in Ridgeway until I was, well, about 67 years old when I come out here.
Yeah. And when did you meet Grandpa?
Huh?
When did you meet Grandpa?
When did I marry him?
Yeah.
Or when did I meet him?
When did you meet him?
Well, I was to a insurance meeting one night with Dad and Mom, and they wanted ice cream after we were through, after we had the meeting over. So they sent a girl and I downstairs to Tremus's ice cream shop to get some ice cream. And when we went downstairs, there was a bunch of guys standing in front of the ice cream shop. And when I come out, he wanted to know, he knew my name. He called me by name. And he wanted to know if he could take me home, and I said I wasn't going home right away. And I did go. I was going home with Dad and Mother. And he said, well, can I walk home with you? I said, that's all right with them. It's all right with me.
And that's how it started.
It was a pickup, I guess you would call it. More than so he walked up home with me, with us, and Dad knew who he was because his father was vice president of the Hyde Murphy Company. And Dad knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so he called me the next night and wanted to know if he could come up. And I said yes. So he came up and spent the evening with us. And he came in about 7:30 and he stayed till about 11:30. We played cards and stuff and talked, and him and Dad got to talking about hunting and stuff. So that was it.
That was the end.
He had another girl on the string up in Johnsonburg, and they were so sure that his people were so sure that he was going to marry her. And I wasn't really welcome in the family, except with Grandpa Shrefler,
Uh-huh.
and that Helen and Grandma Shrefler didn't think that he should marry me. And, Rita names her, say Rita, Alma, Helen's daughter. She married her oldest girl after the girl in Johnsonburg.
Huh. So what happened then with the Shrefler name? You know, everybody else spells it S-C-H.
Well, Grandpa Shrefler did that.
My grandfather,
Your
he,
grandfather
he
did.
changed it from S-C-H to S-H.
Yeah, he said that was too much bother when he was in a hurry. He was a funny old Dutchman.
Yeah. So he is Dutch?
Hmm?
He was Dutch?
Yeah, he was down from around Scranton someplace.
And his father worked for Hyde Murphy also?
No. It
No?
was your grandfather that worked at Hyde Murphy's.
Okay.
Or your great-grandfather. He'd have been your great-grandfather.
Okay. He was the vice president of Hyde Murphy? Okay. So, my great-grandfather worked for Hyde Murphy Company.
Yeah.
And
And
my
your
grandfather, which your
And
husband,
your father worked there.
my father worked there. Yeah. Okay,
And your Uncle Zero worked there.
right,
And Uncle Max worked there for a while.
yeah. My dad worked there for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the war, he worked there. Yeah. Where are we from originally? I mean,
Well,
are we,
Grandpa Shrefler came up to Ridgeway from Pittsburgh. He worked for Hyde Murphy, I think, or a lumber company down in Pittsburgh. I don't know too much about it. But he came up from Pittsburgh, but they lived in Butler at that time.
Butler?
Uh-huh. And then when he got this job in Ridgeway, he moved his family up, and they lived on Allenhurst Avenue. You remember where that is?
Sure. Yeah. So we're of Dutch descent?
Huh?
We're of Dutch descent?
They're from down in the east someplace. I don't know where he really was born. I don't know
Yeah,
anything
but he
about.
came out of Butler, Pittsburgh, up the Ridgeway.
Yeah. I don't know anything about my grandpa Shrefler's history.
Yeah.
I only knew that he had two sisters. I don't think he had any brothers. I never heard of any brothers, but he had Aunt Liv and Aunt Han. They lived down in Clintonville, over here in Clintonville.
Okay. Which is down here?
Aunt Han, his husband, had the oil fields. He had sold his oil to Quaker State for years and years.
Okay.
And I got a nice little settlement from Quaker State after Dad died.
Yeah.
Didn't amount to a whole lot, but it was,
So it was inheritance from Quaker State.
yeah.
So basically, my grandfather changed the spelling of the name. Your husband changed it from S-C-H to S-H-R-E-M.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every place you go around, there's Shreflers, but it's only in the last 100 years that it's S-H-R-E-M.
Well, there's Shrefler's down through,
There's some in Pittsburgh,
yeah.
but it's
and
S-C-H.
where else was, I saw a name in a magazine, a motor magazine one time, of a Shrefler near Somerset.
Okay.
And I wrote to it, but I never got an answer. I couldn't get any more information about it.
Yeah. Well, there's a Gary Shrefler lives in Pittsburgh.
There is.
Yeah, same name as me. And spells it the same as we do, only he has two F's. He spells it
Lots of times people put two
S-H-R-E-F-F.
F's in mine.
Yeah,
and they
well,
were-
no,
yeah.
this guy spells, he's an engineer down there.
But the S-C-H and two F's is right.
Yeah.
It's the old Dutch way of spelling it.
So is that where the Shreflers are from? Is like they're Dutch? It's
But,
You were German, weren't you? What was your family?
My family.
The Hendersons. Were they German or what was their heritage?
Of course, I don't know. They're German,
German? Dutch German?
Irish German.
Irish German.
Your dad, your grandfather could teach German like nobody's business.
My grandfather could?
Lawrence could.
Yeah. What was his middle name?
Maxwell.
Lawrence Maxwell. All right, so that's where Larry was named after Grandpa. Lawrence David, Larry. And then Dad was named after your husband, Max.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wondered. We were talking about this up at hunting camp this past winter. You know, where the names came from and, you know, the difference. Kenny was up and he was saying...
I think the Maxwell came in on Grandma Shrefler's side.
Is that right?
Because she had a sister or a cousin that was in, her name was Maxwell, married to a Maxwell.
Okay.
And when Max was born, I wanted to call him Franklin, but I didn't want another Franklin in the family.
Okay.
You know, but I wanted the name there. So they seemed to fit better together than anything that I could work with.
Yeah, so it's
that's why
Franklin
that
Maxwell
ended up
Shrefler.
that way.
Yeah. Well, where did the Zorl come from?
That was your grandfather's buddy in Ridgeway there,
Okay, his name was Zorl?
Cyril Moore. You remember Marjorie Moore?
Yes.
Marjorie Mater?
Yes,
Just her
Mater.
brother.
Yeah, Marjorie Mater.
Your family lived up in Mrs. Moore's apartment when you were little, when you were born.
Is that right?
Across from the
over on,
hospital,
yeah,
right off of.
yeah, I know where that is. That's where I crawled out on the roof when I was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't find me when I was like a year and a half old, and Dad came home from work and I was sitting out on the roof of the apartment. And you moved up to Cardot Street when you got married?
No,
No, not,
I was still in, with Mother and Dad. I was still down. When we stayed with Mother and Dad till Cyril was born.
okay.
And then we went out.
And where did your mom and dad live?
Down on East Main Street,
Oh, okay.
right below the old Murphy property on the East Main Street.
Yeah. Okay. Then you moved up to Cardot Street?
We went into Sam Shanine's apartment there when we went housekeeping. We got our furniture and stuff and got into the apartment, and I discovered after we had been in there for a year, Max was born down there. The place was polluted with bed bugs.
Huh.
And we had a chance to get this apartment, this house up on Cardot Street.
That's the one you lived in
A friend of mine
most?
and her husband was moving out of it. She told us about it. So we moved up there, and I fought bed bugs for a whole year trying to get rid of them. They were in my
In the bedding and stuff?
pillows and mattresses and stuff. It was so hard to get rid of them.
What, do you remember what year you moved up to Cardot Street?
No, years don't mean anything to me.
In the 30s, probably? No, Dad was 40. Okay. Probably been in the 20s.
Because then it would be in the 20s because
Yeah. His dad was, I was born in 48. You moved out of off of Cardot Street, and then down into the trailer on
I
West
went to
End.
Florida for a year.
Yeah, you lived in Florida for a while. Then you came
I
back.
sold the house and went down to Florida, and when I come back, Peachy and them had bought the trailer for me because they written and told me about it.
Yeah.
So they had it all set up and everything for me.
Yeah, now Book still lives in the trailer.
It's changed hands many
Yeah.
times.
You lived in it, then Mike lived in it, now Book lives in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I remember most about the house on Cardot Street?
Yeah.
The milk chute.
Was what?
The milk chute, the little milk door on the
Oh, down
front porch.
below. That was on Lincoln Street.
No, you had that up on Cardot Street too, the little milk door On the front porch, there was a little door that the guy
Oh,
would,
yeah.
that the
The
guy
milk-
would set
the
the
milk
milk
door,
in.
the milk door.
Yeah, the milk door. And if you would have the door locked, the only way I could get in was to crawl through the milk chute.
Well, the kids all did that.
Yeah, I would
And finally
crawl.
broke the door off of it.
Yeah, I would crawl in through the milk chute to get into the house when I was wee little.
Yeah, but somebody a little bit too bigger than they should have been went through it one day and broke the
Yeah, it
door
was just a
off.
little chute, Corey. They had it on the front porch of the houses. And back in those days, the guy delivered milk.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go to the store, so he would come around every morning and open that little door. Your house could still be locked, but you would leave the bottles in there, and he would put the milk in this little cupboard.
Right.
And when you get up in the morning, you open the door, and your milk was in there.
Can you say that one more time?
Hmm?
Could you repeat that?
I said I'd be 100 years old and 201.
She's born in 1901. Pretty amazing.
That's not too far
Uncle
off.
Frank he was born in 1900.
Yeah. He just passed away a few years ago, Uncle Frank. Is his wife still alive, Marie?
Oh no.
No, she was before him.
She died the year that Sammy Marie was born.
Oh, that's right. And we were talking coming out, how many grandchildren do you have?
I have 24 grandchildren.
24 grandchildren. How many great-grandchildren?
57.
57 great. And how many great-great?
I think 11 great.
11 great-great.
Man, that's a lot.
24, 57, and 11. Right? 24, 57, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Would you shake hands with Grandma? Would you shake hands with Grandma? Come on. Come on. Shake hands with Grandma. Come on. Come on. Shake hands with Grandma. Come on. Come on. Ooh. Sleeping.
This dog probably doesn't like to be held as much as Chelsea does, huh?
She wants to be held too, but she won't get
Down.
jump up on my
Down
lap.
there.